What's going on there, guys, and welcome back to another great video. When it comes to an actor's profession, one of the most recognizable superhero characters in pop culture is a tremendous step forward, but it also comes with a significant amount of responsibility. After portraying Peter Parker in the film The Amazing Spider-Man in 2012, Andrew Garfield skyrocketed to the top of the Hollywood food chain. Garfield remembered the most significant drawback that came with the position during a recent interview, which was his hate for fame. Keep watching to see exactly why Andrew Garfield hates fame. Number 5. Too young for fame. When asked whether the sudden recognition that he gained from playing Spider-Man was overwhelming, Garfield said, "It was. I sort of opposed it quite a bit at first. I was in my youth. I was 25, 26 years old, which is considered an adult age range, but I was still a child at heart. No, I was not an adult when I was 26 years old. It was simply a lot of weight to bear. It was difficult for me to keep it all in. I kind of rejected it quite a bit." Many of us want to entertain the idea that if we were to suddenly be catapulted to super fame, we would welcome it with open arms. However, the reality of day-to-day life was something completely different. Garfield attended the illustrious Royal Central School of Speech and Drama when he was younger in order to pursue his dream of being an actor. However, when he was cast as the next iteration of Peter Parker after Tobey Maguire's star-making portrayal in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, the subsequent exposure was overwhelming. Later on in the conversation, Garfield emphasized that he never had any difficulties while performing the role of Spider-Man. "Not about the job. The work was good," he said. "To tell you the truth, dealing with people's attention was the hardest challenge for me. The public visibility, that which is known. The inability to develop relationships with other individuals or have meals with them when walking around the neighborhood, that struck me as really invasive and pretty challenging. It happened immediately after the movie was released into theaters. Everything simply sort of turned on its head." Number 4. Successful roles that followed. Since his days as Spider-Man, Garfield has continued to take on fascinating and complicated parts such as the pacifist combat medic Desmond Doss in Hacksaw Ridge and the clumsy would-be investigator Sam in Under the Silver Lake. Both of these characters were played by Garfield. He also had a successful career on stage, most recently playing the main role in Angels in America on Broadway in 2018. While Garfield continues to fiercely deny that he makes any type of cameo in the forthcoming Spider-Man No Way Home, you can see him next as televangelist Jim Bonker in The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which is now playing in cinemas all across the country. Number 3. Handling anxiety. The year 2007 was a monumental one for Andrew Garfield, as he was honored with the BAFTA Award for Best Actor for his performance in the film Boy A. Behind the scenes, Garfield was battling massive amounts of nervousness and anxiety. According to a source, he said that the night he received the prize, he had what he called a semi-panic episode. The next year, he continued to struggle with persistent self-doubt over his acting abilities. "I don't believe that I will ever achieve fame in my life. I have a sneaking suspicion that such is the case. Because I have the impression that the job I have done to this point has been somewhat specialized and hasn't been particularly popular, I don't believe that I'm in danger of being replaced anytime soon," he remarked. Number 2. Responsibilities as the star of MCU. Although it was a great chance for Garfield to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Spider-Man, the actor confessed that he had no clue what came along with the role. He stated to The Guardian that he was naive about the whole process of filming one of those films with a large budget. The publication made the observation that he didn't seem to like the press tours that were held to promote the comic book movies, despite the fact that his co-star and subsequently girlfriend Emma Stone appeared to be doing her best during the press tours to loosen her lover up. Garfield disclosed to The Telegraph that there was a time when he believed it would be as thrilling as hell to become a renowned actor. At that time, he didn't feel the same unease that he does now. After he became successful, he said to the media, "I'm sensitive, I'm incredibly worried, and while I have confidence, I have to access it sometimes." Number 1. Avoiding social media. Andrew Garfield was a firm believer that he should restrict the amount of time he spends on social media. It was his explanation, "Even though I have a Twitter account, I wouldn't necessarily call it a me thing. It's more like I simply have to so I can keep up with the news and individuals that are amusing. There's no compelling reason for me to make extensive use of it. Garfield said, I don't believe that utilizing social media would be helpful to my mental health in any way. I believe I'm too sensitive and porous, and I want to keep it that way. According to Garfield, it's like that hustle culture thing, and it's not conducive to good mental health, I would say, but it's also not favorable to one's actual self in a manner because you're always pursuing something outside or restrictions that have been forced upon you from the outside. I believe that it's abnormal to feel the need to produce something new on a consistent basis. Inevitably, you're going to start producing things that must feel more mass-produced or feel less true to you or less, from your own soul, and it's just going to happen, he continued. And that's the end of our video, guys. Let us know what you think about this in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed the video, then do give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't done so yet, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on being notified of our forthcoming videos in the future. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, and until the next one, do take care and goodbye.